Hi, this is Kritsia from Blog Income for Women, and welcome to another one of our videos on building successful home-based internet businesses. So we've been talking a lot about how you could build your business around a review blog, and when it comes to picking a niche, you may have 2 or 3 ideas in mind that you actually would like to compare. It's always a good idea to find out if you are going to be sort of reviewing a trend that's a growing trend, or a trend that's actually one that's not as interesting to most people, so one that's decreasing. So the way you would do it, and there's another video where I show you sort of quite an extensive way of doing research with different tools that are free online, but let's take a look at Google Trends, which is really great, and we're going to compare 3 different niches. Let's say you have 3 different interests and you don't really know where to start. So you'd go here and you would type Google Trends inside Google, and you'll go here. And here what you'll do is you'll type the 3 different niches that you're interested in. So you definitely want to be as precise as possible. You don't want to be too vague, because then you're like flowers. Your flowers may be just a little too vague. Gardening flowers perhaps may be a better choice. So I'm going to put my 3 choices here, which are pet foods, scrapbooking, and knitting. And what's going to happen is I'm going to click here, and I'm going to take a look at the different niches. So let's look at the trends. So pet foods is in blue, scrapbooking is in red, and in sort of yellow is knitting. So if you look at the years here, obviously we're in 2011. As I'm shooting this video, we would be somewhere here. But we could take a look at the trends for 2009 and 2010. If you look at pet foods, it seems that there was like a big interest right here in 2007. And interestingly enough, if you look at the articles, it's related to organic pet food. So that would be actually interesting to take a look and see how that may differ from simple pet foods. Let's take a look at here. Organic pet foods. So organic pet foods trends very low. That's very interesting. Would natural pet food come up? No, still very low. As you can see here, there's just a little bit of an interest right here. Very low. So we're looking at pet food, scrapbooking, and knitting. Obviously knitting seems to be very strong in terms of a trend, and so is scrapbooking, although scrapbooking seems to be falling a bit in terms of interest. But knitting is still quite strong, and it's been strong really since 2004. Now if we take a look at here the regions where it's strong, it seems to be you have Canada, the UK, the United States, and Australia, so all English speaking countries. So again, if let's say you were hesitating between these 3 niches, being pet food, scrapbooking, and knitting, you may consider going into knitting as a niche and exploring that, because obviously if we look at the Google Trends here, we can actually see that it is a growing trend. Now obviously you would want to break that down even more, because inside knitting there are different sub niches within the knitting sort of larger category. So again, you may even want to go inside the Google Trends and break knitting down to even minute or longer tail keywords. So that means keywords with multiple words, because right now we have knitting, but you could have knitting for babies, you could also have knitting for adults. All those terms would basically help refine your research. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, and we're going to go back and we're going to do knitting for babies and knitting for pets, because I know people are doing it. So let's see if I'm going to remove this. And let's see what Google. So these are, minute trends. So basically it's still, the big picture would still be knitting. Even though knitting for babies, you could actually see here, there's a bit of interest. So there are possibly patterns or yarn or whatnot that's sort of more specific to babies. So here you have it. We were able to quickly take a look at 3 different niches to see which one is a growing trend, and within that niche we were able to break it down to see if sort of the general sort of term, or breaking it down to sort of more minute or more precise sub niches would be a better idea. And we got our results from Google Trends, and the best part of this whole process is that Google Trends is a tool that's free that most marketers will use, along with some paid tools as well. I hope you found this video informational and that you've learned more about how you can successfully build your home-based internet business. And don't forget, I have 20 other videos to share with you. I'd love for you to get your hands on them, and you could simply visit www.blogincomeforwomen.com/20videos. Again, www.blogincomeforwomen.com/20videos. Thanks for watching.